IVM.
If you're broke, if you need money, if you don't have a wallet, you don't have a financial portfolio, don't bother, there's no hope for you. Or is there? His name is Anupam Gupta, paisa vaisa, but don't ask him for money. I asked, he gave me nothing. New episodes out on the IVM podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcast from. Kripaya dhyan dijiye, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
This week on Cock and Bull, Abbas, Amit and I are met by the most beautiful man on podcasting. And I say beautiful man because it's not visual, so we'll never find out. Kunal Vijayakar.
Why follow your auntie's advice when you can follow Cyrus Says on Facebook and Twitter to stay updated about the latest shows?
Okay, here on Cock and Bull, which used to be Cyrus Says, well, thanks to all your love, we've changed the name because we feel like it. I've come to the conclusion after lots of research and talking to my team of experts, many of them who are archaeologists and architect, sort of experts and architects. I've come to the conclusion that Pedder Road has to be obliterated. This is the South Mumbai fiasco that I'm talking about, but we who live here understand it more than anybody else. There is no cure. You know, sometimes you reach a point in your life where the relative is really sick, suffering a lot, can't breathe properly, can't eat, can't walk, can't do anything. You know, it's basically just ready to go. It's called euthanasia, and we, in some countries, especially in Western societies, they allow you to let the relative go. Well, in our case, it's very simple. Just as what's happening with my headphones falling left, right and center, South Mumbai is crumbling. The infrastructure is crumbling, and Pedder Road has to be obliterated because it's in the center, the vortex of everything. We have to remove Pedder Road. I'm sorry, your question will be, what do we do with the people who live there? Well, I've got this lovely spot in Palghar, which is completely empty, where we can rehouse everybody to their comfort. All right? Pedder Road, goodbye. It's called Cock and Bull.
What do we have to do?
Welcome to What a Play, you guys. This is the favorite sports podcast of several sports persons such as myself, Dudeja and Mikhail, who also happen to be the hosts.
Yes, you should definitely listen to our podcast for our take and quite a uninformed but hilarious take on sports every week. We give out awards, we discuss what happened in the world of sports, and
we take breaks as well.
We come up with jingles and sound effects on the go. So you should definitely give us an example of a sound effect, Dudeja.
Bolo Matthew Vade.
Yeah, tune in for some of that, bro. You can catch us on the IVM network every Wednesday on the go. On the Wednesday, in the Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, What a Player. What a Player W, Wednesday W. Wow.
Oh, Wednesday.
Wednesday to Wednesday, What a Player, Matthew Vade.
All right, just finished my rant on Cock and Bull, which was about Pedder Road.
I know.
I don't want to keep, because it's like a song that you keep singing. Like when I was young, I'd sing Baba Black Sheep, only one line because I didn't know the words till I was about 18, I think. I just feel that Pedder Road has reached a point where there's just nothing we can do about it now. Because any time in the day, even on a public holiday, any time, either way, you're stuck.
You're right. I mean, it's weird considering that it's a straight road. It has relatively few signals still. Where every time I'm coming to work,
backs up.
No, I'm being Uber is always sending me by Breach Candy.
Everybody goes by Breach Candy, and then soon Breach Candy will be chock-a-block because everybody's thinking the same way.
But the plan now,
except the Ambanis who fly by helicopter.
But the plan now is to make Breach Candy one way. Or to make it
these
into
plans,
a pedestrian paradise.
I want to ask you, these plans come from where? Come from your government, which doesn't exist. We don't have a government. So no one is running Maharashtra. So Maharashtra is running around like a headless chicken.
This is what it means. Finally, what does it mean? It means that what I've always said is that Bombay ends at Cadbury House. That means...
Yeah, but
you don't need to use Pedder Road to go anywhere. Why do you use Pedder Road?
No, I don't understand.
Want to go beyond Cadbury House?
Where does Bombay begin then?
Devi Nagar.
But I still have to cross. I still have to cross the Lata Mangeshkar enclave.
To go where?
To go to your house, you idiot.
Yeah, by that time you live outside of Bombay.
I live on the outskirts of Bombay.
To meet you, I have to cross. I have to pass Lataji's house. Say bye-bye.
But that's what. So my
house on years and carry on.
But that is what you say. I'm going out.
Okay, let me introduce you now, Kunal. Let me introduce you. People don't know who you are.
But
it's not visual. Amit, can I introduce?
Please.
Abbas, now that I've said all names, I don't want to introduce. Pick it up. Amit, Kunal, Abbas. Usual suspects. Alex, nobody turned up, so Kunal's come.
Yeah.
That's a normal reason.
But that's a good. Actually, we need Kunal to come for something else. So I was like, since you're coming, I must take full advantage of your presence.
Paisa vasool. He treat you like a Pedder Road flyover which wasn't built.
And for that, I have travelled all the way to Bandra, car.
Yeah, that's
station.
True. Across the other big divide, which is the Worli ceiling, which separates the rich from the poor. The rich are those who collect money from us as we pass.
So I actually remember when I was in school and college early, right? I mean, like we used to consider.
If you don't, you can Google it. That's a great thing. Whatever you forget about school and college, Google it.
That? Okay. No, we used to consider Siddhivinayak
That's where Kunal lives.
spot. Yeah, exactly. So Kunal was so that was. Past Siddhivinayak means you're going like far. Before Siddhivinayak is like you're within the area.
So where Amitabh Bachchan lives was like a foreign land.
Look, we can go on talking about this. My grandmother used to say that if I had to go from Siddhivinayak to Mahim, I'd have to take a boat.
Right.
Because there was no road there.
Oh, she was really old. 400 years ago.
So I found this out weirdly enough just yesterday, right? So in Jainism, you do these things called pachkhans, right? So pachkhans are basically you take vows on a regular basis.
Wow.
My mom is a very religious woman. Right? Very, very religious.
Sorry to interject. That what you're doing is swearing. Different. That's a different kind of. Please don't get into that. He's telling us about a spiritual experience. Bolo, sorry.
No, so she takes these vows, right? So some of them are really minor or things like that. But apparently,
can you give us an example of the minor one?
So this is one that I found out just yesterday. She's taken this for a month and a half. I will not leave Valkeshwar.
That's a
one bad Pedder Road experience and see what happens. Wow. Don't blame Jainism. It's beyond spirituality.
No, it's a Jain thing. It is a Jain thing.
So she won't leave Valkeshwar?
So I mean, no, it's on a day-to-day basis. Today I'm not going to leave Valkeshwar. Today I'm not going to leave Valkeshwar, right? I mean, like, so basically every day.
Thank God she's not like a pilot or something.
So the gurus that they go to tell them that every day you must take a certain number of pachkhans, right? Certain number of...
like how many?
I think she's supposed to take 21 a day, right?
Day.
So, but they're small ones, right? Some of them will be like, I'm not going to eat bhindi today. Or some of them will be like, I'm not going to...
But can't be really simple ones like look left once. I don't think it's
no, they're supposed to be
a lot.
There's supposed to be restrictions on yourself.
But that's tough. Bindi is tough. They don't remember. You know, it's like a proper
bindi is what you wear on your forehead.
Both of them are tough. If you ate that bindi, you'd be less fat. Think of it that way.
But they're supposed to be. You're supposed to restrict the amount of things that you're that you're doing, right? And so that's the kind of goal behind it. So one of her things recently has been. I literally just found this out yesterday because we had somebody who had.
So what are the tough ones?
Well, I mean, like there are different tough ones that they do, right? But I mean, like that is like I will not eat today. That's a tough one. Like, you know, when you do when you do an upwas, you take a pachkhan for the upwas.
So she's against Uber and Uber Eats. Think of it that way. No leaving Valkeshwar, no eating.
So yesterday we had a family get-together at Garware Club and she said, I didn't know about the get-together, so I took my pachkhan. I'm not going out of Valkeshwar today.
Oops. That's a great idea to avoid. Can I borrow the pachkhan? Because I'm a bit of a recluse. I hate going out in the night. Can I just say that I've taken the vow?
Yeah, why not?
And no one, because in India, religion triumphs all. You're always safe with that.
You know that you're a Jain, right?
I am a Jain.
Everybody's a Jain.
All of us are born Jain.
Yes, we just don't know it
yet. Except Tarzan. Tarzan found Jain.
That's the belief of Jainism, right? That I mean, like everybody is a Jain. They just haven't found it yet.
They haven't found it.
Jain dharma paimyo nathi aji.
So?
Jain dharma pamyo nathi aji.
Pamyo nathi aji. Okay. So maybe I'll turn vegetarian, Jain and everything soon.
If he gives you one of his bungalows in Valkeshwar, you'll do it happily. Everything will change. You're Jain for life.
Yeah. May I ask what happens if you break the vow?
Well, no, you're not supposed to. I mean, like it's
a very good point.
Punya pap.
No, that we know, but what happens?
You take 42 the next day.
Yeah. So that's what you sin, so you will pay for it eventually.
That's the ultimate thing. But what do you do to make up? What is your penance?
I don't know. I haven't.
You're already not leaving Valkeshwar. You're not eating anything. I won't mention the word.
You're not eating bhindi.
You're not allowed to eat. Yeah. No, whatever. I'm saying you're down to what? How much more penance can you do?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly, I don't think that there is a. No, wait. There is a prashchit.
See.
There is a prashchit.
See, you have a parikshit.
I don't.
Parikshit Sahani.
I don't remember what it is, but there is supposed to be some sort of prashchit. I mean, like if you do break one of your pachkhans,
so you have to atone for that physically.
I'm telling you, in Hinduism and Jainism, the prashchit is you do more pachkhans.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
If
something like that.
You're supposed to do 21.
That's why we're good in maths.
Yeah,
Indians
you
are
do 45
maths because this is how it's
I think you're right. I think it is something like that. It is something like that. I think it's also
no
like
Indian religion gives gives you a one option, you know. It's always lots of numbers. Now, 32 ways for you to attain spirituality in
But
6 minutes.
It's true.
Via 7 lanes of moksha coming soon.
No, I think what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to do stuff like you're supposed to do. So there is so Jainism has this thing called Samaik, which is like a 48 minute.
Hey man, you know a lot, yeah. Oh, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in religion. Suddenly, what? You're inheriting something.
But
What's happening?
no, but I mean, like,
Overnight
you're
study.
around it, no? You're around it all the time. My
Tell us
family
more.
is extraordinarily
Swami, tell us
religious. So since they're so religious, you're around this stuff all the time. I went to 2 Jain meals yesterday, man. I had 2 fucking Jain meals yesterday.
Hey, what's
lunch
language?
and
Where
dinner.
did that come from? Let's say Jain meals was enough.
But I had to go for 2 giant meals yesterday. That's how religious my family is, right? But I think prior, so there's this thing called Samaik, which is a 48-minute kind of thing where you're
48 minutes.
So it's 48 minutes is a Samaik.
Exactly like a podcast.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
in a sense, this is a punishment.
This is a Samaik.
48 minutes they have to listen.
It's not a punishment. A Samaik is like where you're doing bhakti of God, right? So basically, you're doing a puja for 48 minutes. You're learning about the religion.
But who keeps a timer on? How do you know about 48 minutes?
Well, I mean, that's what it's supposed to be a 48-minute thing.
But then you have to actually put your timer on.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
what if it becomes 49 minutes? Here's my petty point.
They have to use the wind-up watches.
It can become 49, which should not become 47.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Well, you're supposed to do 48.
So don't talk.
Yeah.
And don't talk like you're a big Bob. You're not a big Bob. You're just an idiot.
I know
Oh, it should
everything.
only be 49. It can't be 47.
No, but
you don't know.
but there's
so why
some-
do you talk like you know?
But I'm telling
They're
you,
not
you're an
allowed to
idiot.
use
I'm
like.
trying to change the subject right now.
Tell the truth, no? Because he's always pontificating like he knows. He knows nothing. He's an advertising guy. All advertising guys talk like this.
Yeah, one has to give the illusion they know everything.
Ah.
Yeah.
Momaya. Give me more, Maya.
Yeah.
All right, are we done with this
I
conversation?
think I've given you guys
But I
all
must
I
say,
know about
for
religion.
an atheist, you do practice all this?
No, I don't practice any of it.
But you went for 2 Jain meals?
Well, I mean, like, I go for a family meal and it's giant food.
You were
What can I
stuck.
do?
You were stuck.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
carry
like,
your chicken tikka roll with you.
no, I can't do that, dude. That would be a
Then-
step
then-
too far.
Blasphemous.
Yeah.
Then
would be a step
21
too
more, no?
I do make. I do always make the passive aggressive commentary about giant food. But yeah, man.
In the party. you
In the
sort of
party, I'm like,
announce.
I'll ask the question, even though I know that it's an all giant food party. I'll be like, Acha, so these kachoris you made are magnidar, but do we have the aloo kachoris as well? So I'll ask the
Can you
question.
believe he has to fight just for aloo? What will happen to me? I've got no hope here.
That's the sick burn in a Jain meal. If you mention aloo, it's like, no, you don't go there.
And garlic you can't even talk about ever in the history of the world. And garlic is such a lovely thing to have
It
in
is.
cuisine. No?
Garlic is
Apparently,
the
garlic
best.
is the number one flavor for food.
It
Since
is.
you're the food
It
expert, is
It
that true?
It is. And the Jains can make. Have you tried Jain chicken?
What?
It's made without garlic and onions.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Gaurav Jain who ran away from one stab outside Leopold.
I thought you were talking about chickens who don't eat potatoes and onions.
Only for 48 minutes.
Or else somebody said, all my food is vegetarian. I mean, they eat vegetarian food.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Can you take this offline, you two? Because it's bored as hell. Abbas, do we have topics for the
Yes,
show?
we do. The first topic is Gautam Gambhir was in a bit of a controversy
Not
this
attending
week
Parliament.
for not attending Parliament
And a very important Parliament session where they were discussing
pollution.
what? Pollution.
air quality in Delhi.
Yeah, which is as a member of Parliament from Delhi.
The not attending bit maybe would have been ignored, but he was doing commentary for the India-Bangladesh
I was
game.
listening to his
And
commentary. I prefer him as a commentator than as a member of Parliament.
VVS
He gets a
Lakshman
pass.
posted a picture of them eating pani puris.
Jalebis
and
Jalebi and poha from Indore.
Yes.
Sarafa Bazaar poha.
Where the light was better and the fog was non-existent.
Yeah. Which irked it a little more that while there's
See,
an
here's
important-
my thing. Okay, when you have celebrities, sports stars like Sachin and Gautam Gambhir,
Yeah.
Lata Didi, those kind of big names, and you give them Rajya Sabha seats, or they win like Gautam won fair and square.
Yeah.
He won a Lok Sabha
fair and
seat, yeah.
square, and against AAP's one of AAP's best
Atishi, yeah.
candidates, whose name is with Abbas.
Atishi.
He's the Google.
Atishi.
No, my point is, so when they're celebrities, we have to cut them some slack. A celebrity's life is not easy. They've got to put
I
up
know,
Insta.
so
They've
much
got to put up
pain.
Twitter. They've got to put up Facebook if they're older like us. They've got all these things to do. They've got to have jalebis with VVS Lakshman. Correct. So I'm saying, why are you holding this against him? He's got 200 things to do. Well, some other MPs, nobody knows them or cares about them. They're there all the time. Let those guys attend for everybody.
No, but the
Those
problem
with
is this,
no friends.
this parliament.
What happens to the Shiv Sainik MPs, for example? They don't know where to go. They get up and say, "Idhar mat beto, idhar mat beto, idhar mat beto." They can't go to opposition. They can't go to this thing. Where do they go? Yeah.
But apparently, this parliamentary committee meeting had supposed to be 28 people attending it.
Yeah.
Gautam Gambhir was only one of 26
Correct.
that did not attend.
And because he's
So
high
it's not
profile,
only- yeah.
and he's high profile, the other 26, but let's say about 80% of those guys, we don't really know know them too
Maybe
well.
they just didn't wake up in the morning.
No, maybe nobody cares about pollution. I'm
Yeah.
just saying this
Yeah.
pollution का बड़ा चीज नहीं है.
Yeah.
Forget pollution. You'll bang your car to the other car. What's the worst thing that can happen? But traffic jams at Pedder Road. Now Delhi should come down to that. Explain to me how to deal with that. That's much bigger for me than this pollution. Honestly, how bad is this pollution thing?
In
I go
Delhi?
to Delhi, I can see everyone.
Really? I got people sending me pictures of masks, man.
No, those are foreigners.
No, Sheila Aditya, the host of Shunya One.
Yeah.
He bought a mask from Bombay before he had to go to Delhi.
Right.
And then he said that he needed it over there. It was
Yeah, but
like,
I thought it's quite metaphorical. You're living in
Devra
Delhi.
posted a picture
Yeah.
of him on his flight landing in Delhi
Yeah.
and wearing a black mask like
Yeah.
Batman.
That's because he's not been given enough, position in the Congress at the moment. I think that he was trying to make a point, and rightly so. I would elevate him.
The air quality has improved from hazardous to very unhealthy. That's the improvement.
So if you're a 94-year-old with asthma, you may live till Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think today it's improved.
Yeah?
A strong wind came and took the pollution away for a little while.
Oh, okay.
To Agra. Now UP is under threat.
I have an app which tells us how many cigarettes a day are you smoking in Delhi right now. Last time I checked it was like 30. Today it is... No,
So non-smokers are smoking 30
Equivalent of
cigarettes.
following.
yeah, so in Bombay today you're smoking 2.8 cigarettes.
I've always wanted to be a smoker. It's also positive.
Bombay 2.8 you're smoking.
Only
2.8.
2.8.
Yeah.
And
Back to Gautam Gambhir, he gets a pass from me.
in
I'm okay
Delhi,
with it.
that's not too bad. It's only 4.8 in Delhi. That's actually not that bad. I've seen Delhi to be at like 28, 30, stuff
I think
like
you have
that.
to also keep in mind that Delhi has this terrible check and balance situation between the central government holding 50% of the power and poor
Right.
Kejriwal holding 50% of the power. So they're very quick to point fingers, especially the central government to point fingers at him and make the issue bigger than it is sometimes.
That
Or
is, I
highlight
think,
it more.
also, yeah, that I think is a big
No,
plus.
also
I'm not saying it's not
Yeah,
bad.
no.
We all know that the people in Delhi, you lose the odd Sharma every 3 days, but come on.
But this whole air thing has been politicized between the AAP and the central government because both are responsible, as he said,
And
and
actually
they're
other
going
state
to find
governments.
reasons to pull each other down.
It's not just these two, right? It's also other state governments which are causing it as well.
It's
right?
also
So,
the
I mean,
language,
it's
but
the
nobody wants to
Punjab,
admit it.
Amit, also
it's
the
Punjab,
language.
Haryana, UP,
Yeah, we're
all
coming
three
to
of
that. We're
those
coming to
states.
that. But that's all the blame game and the finger pointing. But the worst part is that no one. From what I gather, they try to talk about it, but every time someone says "fog you," the other guy says "fog you."
Yeah.
And before you know, it's all "fog you, fog you, fog you," and nobody
Fogs
does
for
anything about
everybody.
it. It's all sweet fog all.
That's very.
He's saying very bad. Who the hell is he? Give me something in Jainism for him. Give me
Let's
something.
just
in Jainism.
forget
Punish this guy. Punish this guy.
Forget it.
Give him 48 minutes of pain. Yeah. All right. Next
So he
topic.
gets a pass from you.
No, I'm saying, look, they're celebrities. They use their power to, attain
But
parliamentary.
he made so many promises during the campaign.
No, but he's not a celebrity.
He's someone.
Cyrus, he's not been installed in the Rajya Sabha. He has gone there, promised people,
Yeah.
stood for elections and become.
Yeah.
So now his full-time job, honestly, should be politics.
But they should pay him more. Because he's getting a hell of a lot more money to go and do commentary. Do you have any idea how much money he has to say no to?
He knew that
No,
before.
no,
whole,
they gave
the
him-
whole
no,
Bangladesh series, for example, is like 15 days work. He can't just, it's a lot of money.
No, but he knew
But as a
before he got
full-time
in,
politician,
right?
as a full-time politician,
he told the
elected
BJP,
member.
देखिए, मैं ये भी करेगा और मैं वो भी करेगा.
Yeah, but-
Everybody says
but
that.
he's
Nobody
not,
gives up.
But he's not serving the BJP. He's supposed to be serving the people
No, but
who voted for him.
The people, you don't have to bother with the people. People are not
Then-
important.
then-
You don't understand politics.
I can
Keep the party
understand. I
happy.
can understand Sachin Tendulkar, who is a Rajya Sabha member, who's been appointed and put over there, has to do his other work. He also has to earn a living, poor man. But this is.
But Lok Sabha pays enough, is what you're saying.
That's
So
not
he should
pays
get-
enough.
No, then you wasted
He's
my
not
time.
pays enough.
You said it's
he's
okay for
a
him.
full-time politician. That's his
And
job.
Rajya Sabha is not full-time politician.
I
No.
think in
Why is
both
he not
cases.
full-time
Because
politician?
they're nominated.
So what?
It's
Yeah.
true.
But
No,
once
but
he accepts a nomination,
yeah,
then
you can
it's a
say no,
responsibility.
right?
Bills are passed through both houses. Don't you understand?
You can say no. Yeah,
No,
exactly.
take your hands out of your pocket. You're talking rubbish.
The most important payment is being elected by people.
All the celebrities
Yeah,
have to be
isn't
given a
that when
pass.
you take the oath? Isn't that I will
What is
serve
oath?
them
What
under?
is oath? This is India. Every time I say hi, what's up? What are you
Oath
doing?
is-
Hey, good. You don't care. Nobody cares.
The problem is with social media. In the old days, you could have been with a woman in Indore and nobody would have known. Here you start posting pictures and everybody gets to know what is happening,
You're not
whether
gonna-
it's jalebi or not.
You don't go further with the indoor-outdoor joke? There was a woman indoor, there was a woman outdoor.
The
I thought
previous
that's-
Lakshman tweet had that joke that,
Oh, it had that joke.
in indoor we are
But
having
you see, I can't be
jalebis
guilty of
outdoor.
copy because I don't read any of this shit. It's all on the internet, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, cool. Let's move on.
No. Let's carry on about Gautam Gambhir. His contribution to Delhi includes a double century which broke Mansur Ali Khan Patawati's record for the highest score in Delhi. So at Firozshah Kotla, which is now called the Arun Jaitley Stadium.
Also the
Not very clear.
91 in the 2011 World Cup final.
Yes, the 90. I think it's 91, 97.
91.
Yeah.
97?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. I get your point. So he needs to pass from two of us.
Okay, good.
I know about 3 jalebis. How many runs, I have no idea.
So as a jalebi eating member of parliament, you should give him a pass.
I give him a pass. I will give him a pass.
He's not the worst. Trust me, he's not the worst.
Oh no, it's not the worst, but
It's
that's
not
a low
question of
bar.
worst, yeah. And it's optics, Cyrus.
I will tell you, I will serve this country with my head held high. I'm happy to be a member of parliament, but if they offer me $1 million to do something else, I will leave parliament and do it. And yet serve the country.
You remember when Navjot Singh Sidhu was in Big Boss and there was some elections came right in the middle while he was in the house.
Because
he left the house.
No, but they had an understanding that he had to leave the house at a certain point and all that.
Okay.
I've researched this entire story. So what I'm saying is when you're a celebrity, the world changes and the rules change. Everything's a little different. I mean, just another member of parliament who nobody's heard of. It's the way it is. So like he mentioned, Kunal mentioned, 20 odd people didn't attend also out of a list of 28.
They should have also been.
But the subcommittee was 28. Out of 28, we are looking at two names, which is a little unfair because these are two famous people.
Who was the second?
Second, we don't know. They just took a roll call. There were 2 people missing.
Gautam Gambhir.
No, 2 people attended.
Sorry, 2 people.
26 missing.
Yeah.
There are all kinds of people missing.
Sorry, our maths is
it's
really
a
bad.
subcommittee.
It's 28 minus 2. 26 plus 2.
Yeah, I guess the fundamental question here is that if you are a celebrity, right? If you are somebody who has other interests, should you take a job in politics? Should you be a representative? Should you, because
you'll have to figure out what your priorities are.
Right.
If you're an elected member of parliament, your priority should be the parliament.
Right, yeah.
Gautam Gambhir doesn't do commentary for every series. He does on and off, okay? He's not one of those guys who's employed all year round.
Right.
So he's trying to balance it. If I have to play devil's advocate, he's trying to balance it. So he does a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I have no problem with that. I think pollution is overrated. We should allow pollution in India. It's something to be proud of. It's something that's ours. It's our thing.
Okay.
When we go abroad, your French people say, hey, Eiffel Tower, beautiful. And you say, hey, pollution. Come on. We must have a parlay going on between cultures. And
we have
I'm
fog
happy.
year round.
There you go.
The next story is also pollution
Look how
related.
bored he sounded.
No.
Yes,
Delhi-
Abbas, what is the next story?
Delhi got its first oxygen bar. For 300 rupees, they give you a nasal cannula for which you can inhale pure oxygen. You can also have aromatic options like there are some options they've given ginger, lemon, and a few more. So yeah, 300 rupees to smell pure oxygen in Delhi.
And if
This is the first time they've ever had it, really?
That's what the article says.
Has Manu Sharma been allowed? He's the barometer for bars. You've got to say, Manu Sharma allowed? Okay, fine, fair enough.
Yeah, are you allowed to take out a gun in an oxygen bar?
300 rupees, 250 bang! Welcome to Delhi.
So far,
I've been to an oxygen bar before. Maybe I don't remember where. Maybe not.
They had in
India.
Bombay.
They had in Bombay, right? I remember this. Right? That's what
How do you take in the oxygen?
Nothing, you just sit in this room which is full of oxygen. Oxygen-rich atmosphere.
Yeah.
And you can
And
talk.
it's very good
You
for
can
you.
talk.
Yeah. And it's very good for you because we don't get enough oxygen.
So does it
in any
involve the
case.
rectum in any way?
You take oxygen.
I don't know.
from
I
the-
just asking. I don't know. Last minute, the management tells you, sir, we have run out of this supply, but there's another
That
supply.
is where that is H2SO4 or some
methane,
other
right?
methane gas comes out from.
oxygen.
These guys know too much about this subject. It's a little uncomfortable here.
Yeah, straight from the rectum to the refinery is the way it will be.
lemongrass, lavender, cherry,
going on about this.
eucalyptus are the options that they
The flavors of
Yeah, the
oxygen.
oxygen.
So can you
Yes.
taste it? What?
No, smell it.
Smell it.
Yeah.
It's almost like a perfume.
Yeah, it is perfume. It's basically these used to be these aromatherapy oxygen bars,
It's
stuff
a little
like that.
sarcasm, no, for Delhiite. Poor bichara Delhiite.
Yeah,
He
it's a
gets
little
out of this real
bordering on
hotbed
insensitive.
of gas nonsense, and then he goes in, and it's like the world. It's like French perfume, and then he comes back out again.
And you're back into fog.
and he dies in 3 minutes because suddenly the contradiction is too much.
No, but it's good because like if this room that we're in was full of oxygen just now, then we wouldn't be yawning. We'd be slightly
You're because of
managing.
low test. I've been saying that.
Low testosterone.
Yeah, testosterone.
Testosterone.
No, pronounce it. Say it. Bindi, mere ko dikhao bhi na. Say it.
See, this is very sensitive. He held it back and brought it up. The minute I made one mispronunciation.
Testosterone. Say it.
Testosterone.
Very good. Indians all say
Now say
testosterone for some
Bindi.
reason.
I said it. You said
Bindi.
it. I said it.
Bindi.
No. No.
Bindi. Bindi. 5-0. Bindi. Abbas.
You want to hear
This is the quality of the conversation, huh? Hindi.
how did you
and
get
laugh.
to testosterone from
I don't know.
oxygen?
He was saying something.
He said my testes or
No,
something.
yawning from our age group, all this feeling tired. No, low test. He's trying to blame oxygen. Don't blame freaking country for everything.
Oxygen.
You're a bloody we males are becoming she-males. Just tell the truth
It's
and end
not
it.
low test, it's
Low
lack
test.
of oxygen.
No, Baba, there's lots of oxygen.
Where
It's a huge room by Mumbai
See,
standards.
there's
It's like a 5-bedroom palace where we
The
are.
article, the expert, the doctor said even if
Who is this doctor?
Dr.
Who's
Rajesh
this?
Chawla.
I've never heard of him.
Senior
I've never heard of this
consultant-
Dr. Rajesh Chawla.
Senior consultant
No,
in
you
respiratory
can't just put
medicine.
any name out there with Dr. Rajesh Chawla. Senior
It's the most
consultant.
Delhi name actually.
Yeah.
But he said even
It's
if you
so generic, yaar.
breathe, even if you breathe in the so-called pure oxygen for 2 hours in a day, you will go back to breathing polluted air for the rest of the 22 hours.
Correct.
He added that the concept is purely a capitalistic move.
It is.
I don't know why he had to spin it that way, but yeah.
Because
to
this is the
make
capital.
money,
He's a doctor from Delhi.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Doctors from Delhi must do that, right? I mean, it is a capitalistic move, but I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with it being a capitalistic
No,
move.
well,
And also, it's not the health effects of an oxygen bar are wildly kind of.
But how? What's the
accepted.
point? The point is that it makes no sense. Because then, like he said, for an hour or so you do this, and then
Right.
you go back out. So how does
But
it...
the
what's
idea.
the healing?
So what happens?
What healing happens?
Okay, so what happens
Your
is
blood
that
gets
yeah,
oxygen.
exactly.
For a little
Your blood
while,
gets
and then again it
oxygenated.
gets corrupted. No? So what's the point?
But
then?
he'll come
But
back
you get-
again, no?
Yeah, you come back. No, so what you're doing is that the hemoglobin
So
is
it's a bit
created
like what
by
they call
oxygen,
this.
right?
Is it like the Salman Khan formula? You run over the guy, then you give a lot of money in charity and do a lot of good work. So you do it up, down, up,
Sort
down,
of
up,
like
down.
that, yeah. So-
Good and bad till you balance.
I think what
So if you're
oxygen-
getting 100 bad points a day,
Yeah.
you get 80.
Because exactly. That's
this is
ex-
simple.
That's what it
You
is.
change and your maths, yaar. Abhi 48 minutes ko mere ko sikhao. I want to understand that again.
Break.
Oh, we take a break. 48 minutes, 24 done?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah! That's scary, yeah.
Remember the last vacation you took? What about the one you took 3 years ago? Okay, how much do you really remember? It's a question I've asked myself often over a decade of traveling the world. Hey, I'm Utsav and I do not travel the world for a living. I have a full-time job and responsibilities, but I have made traveling the world a priority. Priority enough that I negotiate extra leave in my job contracts, obsessively track my frequent flyer miles, and I'm willing to take off at the sight of a cheap ticket. Yes, I am cheap. I have lived and worked in 3 countries. I understand human behavior for a living. And these experiences have given me unique insights into places, people, and culture. With over a decade of travel behind me, I increasingly realized one thing, that we cannot see everything. So whatever we see, we must see deeply. Because as the film of memory decays, the imprints which will stand the test of time are the ones felt by the immersion of the senses, not by fleeting encounters with them. Postcards from Nowhere is an immersion into the world of slow travel, one story at a time. Tune in every Thursday on the IVM Podcasts app, website, or wherever you get your podcast from.
All right, welcome back after a long break. Lots of yawning going on. Low testosterone.
low oxygen. Low oxygen.
Testosterone. What are we doing now, Mr. A?
Still sticking with Delhi, JNU was in the news again. They had massive protests because the hostel fee has been hiked along with a couple of other
The leftist
aspects.
society, speaking of.
So the police and the students clashed in protests. Then they rolled back the fee hike, but the protests are still on. They actually
Did they beat up the police or that's only the lawyers?
It was ugly actually. It was quite ugly, and I think part of it also because Venkaiah Naidu was at the convocation ceremony, which
is
was
new
happening.
look. What is the new look? What, even thinner?
Really?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I think in the BJP high command, people are not getting paid. But suddenly they're all eating less. Gadkari's looking thin, this guy's looking thin. Oh, one is looking little better.
Don't.
No names.
Don't.
So there was a bit of on social media. There was this like, why are they protesting against it? Why? I mean, there was a equalization of if poor people want to. Why do poor students want to study Russian? What is the, what is the equation
can't be
there?
right. No, that's
They're
foolish.
trying to insinuate that they're leftists. When
that's the
Russia has
problem,
left
huh?
communism many years ago.
Insinuating that if you come from a certain
Why do you want to
society,
study if you're poor?
Yeah.
If you can't afford
Why-
to study, don't
No,
study.
if you're,
Why do you
if
study
you're poor, you
humanities
should
and
be a
arts?
doctor or an engineer, or
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
be
No, what?
a business
You
BCom.
should
You
be
should
doing
basically
something
Yeah.
which allows you to make money.
Yeah.
Why are you doing something which
Why
doesn't make
study
sense?
humanities or...
I get your
you
point.
know?
I get your point.
So you know what? I just
The complexes of our society.
No, but you know, I was just listening to a podcast and they were talking about like, you know, what is the long-term earning potential of depending on what your studies are and stuff like that. And what's interesting is that if you study humanities, your first 20 years are going to suck, but your second 20 years, chances are you're going to be making more than somebody who's
I
doing
started earning
business.
96, 2016. So you're saying these are my good years?
These are the good years.
Get me a gun.
Aren't they, Cyrus?
No. Your first bad 20 years are over. Your good 20 years are also over. The next 20 years.
These are the low...
One second, again, it's you Indians and maths. Now, I'm going back to my Jain expert. Sir, is it 60 years or 40 years?
So what the point is that when they study people who have different degrees, right? People who have business and people who have engineering
So there's back-end
degrees,
earning and front-end earning.
those guys will start making money immediately.
No homosexual jokes, please. Thank you. Yeah.
But they'll start making money immediately. But people who have humanities, they are typically people who have broader.
What about
thinking.
JJ School of Art Photography
That's a humanities degree only, no?
majors?
Or is that a professional degree? Is it a vocational degree?
I wouldn't hire him for a wedding.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think a photographer might be a vocational degree.
But no. But
Not even to shoot the food.
I didn't study to be a photographer. Photography was a major option.
It was less work.
My graduation was in a degree called the Bachelor of Fine Arts.
There you go.
But
So that's
photography
the
major,
humanities
no?
degree.
Photography
Yes,
major, it's called, right?
Photography major is one subject.
And then what else did you major in?
Everything, visual communication,
Can you give me an example of your
history of
visual
advertising.
History of advertising. What is David Ogilvy's mother's name? You don't know.
Mrs. Ogilvy.
No, Mrs. Ogilvy. She left Mr. Ogilvy. Her name is Mrs. O'Hara. Check it, man. Check it. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but no. So there is this thought, right? That I mean, like if you have a humanities degree, you have a more broad-based
Abbas,
kind of
humanities
knowledge.
degree?
This.
No.
Science.
Media, mass media.
Mass media. Somewhere in between. What do you guys know?
Humanities.
It started after our time. That's why.
Yeah.
It was Xavier's, no?
No, not Xavier's.
Then?
I quit dentistry, then I did a diploma course.
His father's he's from a dentist family.
Oh.
Could have been a success.
Yeah.
I know.
अभी मेरा बेटा क्या करता है रात को comedy
That is very close to what my father sounds
sure.
like.
But they're still holding your seat. They're using the influence to keep the seat
Abbas,
every year.
your father and Cyrus, same age group. Same
I know.
generation.
We
They
talk
don't
over
understand.
Over Bindi. Where were we, boss?
No, so I was getting to this that the educational institutions right now they are very pro-left, right? I
That's
mean,
always
as
been.
they stand
All
right
over the
now.
world.
Right.
All
But do you think that will
except North
change
Korea.
going forward, considering now everything is changing?
Education and the liberal
Because
arts
the-
and the idea of
Because some
leftist
very
thinking all
staunch
goes together.
right-wingers are getting appointed as...
in India?
In
Yeah,
India.
but that is
but the-
that's faculty, right? The question is what students going to be, right? What are students?
Also faculty, that's head of department.
Look,
faculty will still come from left leaning.
No, but
they're never going to earn.
They're not
great.
going to, and that's what
always
they're going to
have that.
do.
We
Yeah.
are the academics,
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
don't have a Mercedes.
Yeah.
Kunal is a Mercedes, but he's not an academic. It's like that.
Academic.
Yeah, that also.
Academic.
Testosterone. You know what Gobel says? No? You keep saying it and people believe it. Testosterone.
The problem is that, look, we are a country of poor people. There are ample
How can you
people-
say that? You told your driver to come 1 hour late because you're using somebody else's driver.
I'm not
How
poor.
do you
The
sound?
country
But
is
it doesn't
poor.
sound like a poor country. This is not a conversation. Germany mein nahi hota aisa.
But this is
Nobody
the,
talks like this.
This is the disparity.
Say
This is the
something.
disparity.
Then mention disparity first. Because they garib desh, I'm sick of hearing. I don't know any garib people in India.
Everybody's garib.
Where is this garib people? I don't
These
see
people
them.
who cannot afford to pay for the JNU hostel, man. The point
They can
is,
all afford. They just don't want to.
No, that was the whole...
Kill the messenger. I'm eating only 1 meal a day.
No. Look. It, on the face of it, it seems like they've increased this 10 rupee fee. Okay? It's 10 rupees for 19 years. The hostel fee was
So they
10
can't afford
rupees.
to go from 10
Listen
to?
to me.
It's a 300%
It's
hike.
600 rupees they brought it.
From
600
10.
rupees a month. Okay, but they have added a 1700 rupees surcharge for cleaning of toilets and mess and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
okay?
shoot.
So 1700
And
plus
still-
600 is how much?
2,300.
2,300 rupees per month for a family who's earning members earning say 12,000 rupees a month.
And who's going to learn
Cannot afford
Russian?
it.
It's a
And
lot
who's
of
going to
money,
learn
yeah.
Russian?
How will they
and
afford
fail
it?
in the final exam? Okay.
So poor people should have. It's a government
Stop
college.
saying
Government
poor
should-
people, you elitist bastard. Just say people, no? And poor people, wo log, garib log. You can't talk like that.
But you can say rich people.
Rich people you can say.
Then you can say poor people.
No, you can't.
Why?
I can't explain it to you.
Okay,
It's complex.
So whose responsibility is it to uplift the poor? Whose responsibility is to give them do they remain undereducated because they can't afford it? somebody has to pay for it. Government has
Very
to pay
good
for
point.
it.
He's a very far-thinking individual. I feel we should never have him back. Unless he's asking the hard questions that nobody wants to hear.
We are finally a socialist
No, we're
democracy.
not under this government. That's gone forever.
But have they said it officially that
Just
it's
check
gone
out the
forever?
statues that are being built. Which socialist statue will come up? No, gone. They're allowing Mayawati to keep 20% of her statues, and that's about it. Yeah.
One good thing government is doing.
That's what you got out of it.
Well, I mean, if we can get.
Yeah, but he's got a good point. Last word on it. So,
Yeah.
when I look at it maths-wise, $10, since this is a math show, $10 to 2,300 is a bit steep.
It's steep.
It's ridiculous.
No, and it's also. I mean, you know,
In 19 years.
Yeah, it's a bit, and also
so it might be justifiable in some ways, but it also needs to be kind of
No,
looked at
but
from
10
the
to-
from
10
the.
to 2300 is a bit too much.
Also, honestly, by
If it's
the end of the month or the end of the year, I'll end up paying nearly 50% tax.
Right.
I'd really like to know where that money goes.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
and I think there's enough money around now
Right.
for that to go to education of poorer people.
But
what is wrong?
But is that so? What I'm saying though is that
so you want to choose where your tax goes.
I want
you
to
to follow
choose-
the government and say, "Dekho,
I want
Vijayakar,
to.
this
I would really
mera
like
jo
to.
paisa hai na, I want to divert the funds to the
JNU.
classroom 9C in JNU and see that Mandira and Pratibha get good education."
Yeah, why not?
I just
Why
want to be
not?
clear.
Why
Want to
not?
be clear. Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
no, I guess that's true.
I would give all my money to charity. That's the Broacha family, care of Cyrus Broacha. Where the poor live. Garib log ki address, Malabar Hill. 40006. That's it, nobody cares?
No.
Let's move on.
I think we
I have said my piece.
we have beat
You've
this
run out
into
of breath. Testosterone. Bolo?
When Kunal was saying India is a poor country, right? I read a tweet that Katy Perry was in India, right?
Correct.
And they threw a Bollywood party and everything.
Of course.
So the tweet said that when foreign celebrities are about to come to India, they think India is economically poor, and then they attend Bollywood parties and realize it's also intellectually poor.
But it is for these celebrities, what they see is just a very rich, thriving dynamics out of India, colourful and everything, all the rich and the...
Lokhandwala is what they
Yeah,
say.
no, but they see a lot of money, where would they see anything else? It's not like we really take them anywhere else.
Which is what our country is.
That's what I've been saying. You're the one saying Garib Desh, Garib Desh. Where's this Garib Desh? Even bloody gully boys, the guys are making money now.
Yeah,
Hindi,
but JNU...
rapping in Hindi can make you a millionaire. Who would have thought? Snoop Dogg is dying as we speak.
JNU is upset with Gully Boy also.
Why?
Because they chose their song, they picked up that song, that speech,
Apna
that
time
Apna time aayega or whatever.
Azadi.
Azadi, something. Azadi.
You don't sing it for This show's been bad enough.
And they're upset with Gully Boy for using that
So,
refrain.
2,400 now.
Yeah, maybe. God knows.
It just keeps going up.
The last one, what do you want to do? You want to do rich story or the poor story?
Which country?
Bill Gates is back as the
Number
richest
one.
person.
But that's only
in the
of
world.
last 24 hours. It can change overnight depending on
It
the
will
stock
change. It will
options.
keep changing.
Yeah, I don't understand how this
No, this is a
calculation
stock.
happens, yeah.
What is the stock valued at? They go up and down like this. Like when that fellow Amazon guy got divorced and all
Bezos,
this stuff.
Bezos.
It plunged a bit immediately.
Right.
But within 3 days he was back on top.
Yeah,
And Jack Ma, once they figured out it was a man and not a woman because of the silly surname, he was also back on top. These little things.
Yeah, no.
Where's our guy? Where's our big gun?
Which one?
I won't take
Mukesh
names.
bhai.
What? Yeah, sorry.
Mukesh Bhai.
Yeah.
Mukesh Bhai is I think
Top
like
10?
40 billion. So no, not
So,
top
where
10.
is he? What's his ranking?
I have to
World-
find out.
world
I'll
ranking?
find out.
World
Yeah,
ranking?
Hey, God, we Indians need to buck up here. Ratan Tata, Tata Industry. No? So after the Ambanis, nobody?
No, there's all the Bharati Mittal and all will be there, no? So
But he's a Londoner.
Adanis will be there.
Adani
He's number 18 on the world.
18, see,
Yeah.
18 is not bad. Top 20.
Very good,
Top 20.
very
And
good.
where's Adani? Who is the next Indian?
Adani.
Check again.
Adani.
Where's Adani?
let's see. Lakshmi
but-
Mittal is number 4.
But he doesn't qualify as
On
an Indian.
India.
Oh no, wait. These are a list of Indian people by network. It's not the Forbes rank. Mukesh Ambani, Azim Premji, Shiv Nadar.
The Indian list.
This is a list of Indians.
But
Lakshmi
you-
Mittal,
but you know,
Uday Kotak.
Cyrus Broacha.
Amit, Cyrus used to appear on the
50 million, na?
50 million.
Last time.
Cyrus Broacha used to appear on the Forbes list.
I know, he
Everything
was,
else,
he was telling me that. But you know
Yeah.
what happens when you search for Cyrus Broacha net worth, right?
What?
I'll show you.
How much? 50 billion?
We just did this in the last show. We
I
do this
know.
every show.
But-
Play the clip.
Let me see. Cyrus Broacha net worth.
$0.32 per second. Your
What is it? But I
And
thought-
it's a picture with
$27,000
Kunal.
per day. $27,000 per day.
Is that good net worth?
That is Cyrus Broacha's net worth.
Net worth? Not bad.
50 millions.
50 million, Cyrus.
50 million
And you're one of my assets. 4 houses, 2 cars, Kunal, grandmother, it's all there.
Actually,
I am one of your growing assets.
Yeah.
since we're doing this, we might as well do this, right? What is Kunal Vijayakar net worth?
I don't think I feature on this also.
No, this is there are websites which are basically SEO-driven websites, right?
You pay them money to put you on.
Yeah.
What's SEO?
SEO means
Search
save
engine.
our economy.
Search engine. Kunal Vijayakar net worth is $15 million.
Hey, garib patient.
Garib. But what is $15 million in rupees?
I'll tell you. 70
Multiplied
into
by
15.
70, so 105 crores.
I'm worth 105 crores.
Yeah.
Who's this website?
See, this is what I'm saying. The best fiction and the best writing is on these
It's on the
search
internet.
engines.
It's on the
Search
internet.
engines have the best writers. We have to find them and make them write comedy for us. Because even we find this funny. 105 crores. This is from a guy who asked me for $10 to pay parking yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's how you make 105
Sorry, that's
crores.
reversed. That's reversed.
That's how
Reversed,
Cyrus has made his
reversed.
millions.
Yeah.
But, yeah, sorry. So Bill
Amit?
Gates.
Great. By the way, Amit, what are you worth? Oh, no.
Amit Doshi net worth? Yeah, we don't want to look. That'll be like negative.
No, we'll wait.
I don't think that you'll even find it, right?
And Abbas, no point, right?
No
Yet?
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have been a doctor, yeah. But imagine, in a sense, it's the same thing because you've got to look into people's mouth, in a sense. That's the same thing. You get the reaction of the laughter and you get the reaction of the patient. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Think of it. Tell your dad that. He'll slap you probably twice.
He's going to tell his father what you just told him to tell him.
They're a line of dentists. They're all well. His sister used to work with my dad as a physio. Okay, they're all well-educated medical people. And then this guy decides one day, Daddy, main joke karunga. And before you know it, he's playing in all the Baikala bags, for 8 people, 5 people.
Baikala, all the dentists in the old day were Chinese.
Don't start any problems.
No,
Let's just have a
Mayank
conversation.
Chang's dad was my dad's
There is a Mayank
batchmate.
Chang.
Mayank Chang from
Mayank-
Indian Idol.
The Indian Idol guy.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I remember that guy.
Chang.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Mayank Chang, the Indian Idol guy, is a dentist's son.
He himself is a dentist.
He's Dr. Mayank Chang.
Mayank Chang, yeah.
Why is he wasting his time singing this song?
Because he also decided
Let's get
one
him.
day.
Mayank Chang, can you come on the podcast? Let's get him. He's an interesting guy.
Cool, I'll try.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's your hero in a sense.
More or less, yeah.
Double career thing. Yeah. Excellent.
Okay, he also comes from a family of doctors.
It would help if Kunal knew him as Mayank Chang. Not Mayank Chang.
I heard Mayank
This Gujarati Chinese mix that makes the world a better place for you. Chalo,
Let's go to the AMAs, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to another awesome week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you are not following us on social media, why the hell aren't you? It's about time that you did. We're IVM Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We also got some really great news about Paisa Vaisa. Anupam Gupta, our host, we couldn't be prouder of him. His show has won the award for the best business podcast at the Asia Podcast Summit. Couldn't be happier, couldn't be prouder. Definitely check it out if you haven't heard it. It is an award-winning podcast now officially. I also would like to thank our sponsors this week, Storytel and Intel. Sponsors make this possible, so please support our sponsors, tweet at them, tell them that you're happy that they're sponsoring the podcasting space. We're excited to announce our new show, Storytellers and Story Sellers, hosted by Vineet Kanabar. Every episode, he talks to 2 guests, one from the creative side and one from the business side of the entertainment industry. This week, Vineet is joined by Executive Creative Director of TVF and storyteller Saurabh Khanna, and Chief Strategy Officer OML and story seller Tarun Tripathi. Together, they break down what goes into making a branded web series. Tune into new episodes every Thursday. On Cyrus Says, Cyrus is joined by Utsav Memoria. Utsav is the host of our new show and one of my favorites on the network, Postcards from Nowhere. He and Cyrus have a really interesting conversation about Utsav's fandom of Cyrus. Also, they talk a lot about travel and Utsav's recent marriage. On The Seen and the Unseen, Amit is joined by author Parvati Sharma. They talk about her book, Jahangir, an intimate portrait of a great Mughal. On Paisa Vaisa this week, Anupam is joined by Amit Kumar Gupta, Fund Manager PMS Adroit Financial Services. He talks about financial services and the scuttlebutt method of stock research. The Habit Coach completes 150 episodes on Friday. Make sure you tune in to celebrate this milestone with Ashton as he talks about bravery and how to use it in your everyday life. On Simplified, Naren and Shrika break down what behavioral addiction is and how someone suffering from it can be helped. On Golgappa, Trupti is joined by Manashri Soman. She is visually impaired who, despite these crippling odds, completed her secondary education and won the prestigious Balashri Award from President Abdul Kalam. On Feeding 10 Billion, Ramya and Varun are joined by Michelle Adelman. Founder of GoFresh in Botswana, she is harnessing the power of technology with sustainable business models to find innovative solutions to food security in Africa. On Boundless, Natasha reads poetry about the struggles she faced as she entered her 30s and long-distance relationships. On The Origin of Things, Chuck narrates a fascinating story about an adventurous young man whose life revolved around music and road trips. And with that, let's get you on with your show.
If you have any questions for Cyrus, write to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Or you can send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
It's been a show where we've laughed so much and nobody else has. The four guys are telling jokes to each other, nobody else.
I don't know how
the
it will
obnoxious
sound.
group.
How
Terrible.
it will sound. Yeah.
Whenever we laugh too much, it's a terrible show. But
the radio jockey Rishi Kapoor, he's also a dentist.
I know Rishi Kapoor.
Yeah. He's
In fact,
also a dentist.
the first day that he worked in Mirchi, if I can take the name, I can take the name. What am I saying? We were there.
Okay.
I think we played a gag on him also. Rishi Kapoor. And he went on about being a dentist. Lovely guy.
Yeah.
But he continued. At that point, he was still working.
I think he's still there.
He continued with the
dentistry. Yeah.
So he would do both.
Really? Okay.
It's nice to see that, that he could actually straddle two careers.
Even Palash
It's like a prime minister. He's both a travel freak and running a country. So, you got your two things
travel
going.
blogger and prime minister.
At the same
He's
time.
basically supporting Gautam Gambhir. It all boils down to that. It all boils
I'm
down
sorry,
to that.
why attack my soft target cricketers? Why attack all these bloody politicians out there who are killing and raping and mutilating and causing riots and all? Why are you attacking these guys?
All right. Go to the emails?
Yes, please.
Okay, so first question comes from Dharmesh Shettigar. It's a question that's been asked before. Hey, Cyrus, why don't you run for election in your area? Anyway, you're avidly aware of politics and also empathize with the urban angst.
Yeah, but you have to speak good Marathi, and even Kunal hardly does that. So it'll be very hard for us because when your only lines will be Kutrecha Pillu, Maji Aichi now Olivia Ahet.
Right.
So I think I'll really struggle. Fulla Pakaru, Chan Kisi Disate. I mean, I can only do one line and they are not connected. So,
Alternatively, the same
but it might, hey Kunal, it might work. After years of listening, this guy makes sense.
Where are the Maharashtrians in Maharashtra left?
Gone. In Bombay, forget. Gone.
Yeah. Or what happened to Gautam Gambhir will happen to Cyrus Broacha.
Yeah.
No, but that's my
major
plan.
I put a
parliamentary
story
meeting
for me.
Major parliamentary meeting, Cyrus
For me,
I put a story of you doing the
only
podcast.
thing the worst thing than a person who doesn't attend and shams the sort of responsibility is that overzealous guy who takes it also seriously, like building election and comes and talks to you and all that. That's like the worst guy ever. So somewhere in the middle is the answer, is what I feel. You can't be either of those two.
Yeah, I agree.
So member of parliament, yes, but bunk a few things. Don't have such a high record.
Bunk a few things.
Govinda attended 1 in 5 years. That apparently the world record. And Kim Jong-un attended all the parliament sessions without actually going there.
Yeah.
Which is just the greatest world record ever. Where he just said, sign me up. I'm there. Finished. Yes, sir, you're there.
Yeah, no, I can see that happening, right? I mean, like the idea that you're going to have so many people who are just... but if you're parliament, you should be at parliament, right?
Yeah, but Amit, look, in the course of a year, you have to make decisions.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're going to cross purpose at some point.
Right.
When you have double career.
Right.
Like the dentist and the DJ and all that. What are you going to do? You got to make a decision. Sometimes they overlap. So a Bangladesh series, exciting, more money, good fun, 5-star hotel, fellow cricketers, laugh, no pressure. Or sit with these MPs and talk rubbish and nothing's going to come out of it and the pollution will continue and you just have to, act like you're interested. Come on.
So herein lies the question. When you are in parliament, should you have a double career or not?
That is the question, right? I think
you have to pay properly. I can't accept it.
No,
the service for the people is all rubbish. You have to pay them. So if whatever he's earning, he has to earn 25% more than that.
How can that be the definition?
No, there has to be
it has to be.
There has to be a common pay.
It's a capitalist society, right? They're saying it's a capitalist society. It is.
It is a capitalist society, but there is a job in parliament, right? And the parliament job pays a certain amount of money.
When I accepted the role of a parent, of being a father, I told my wife, pay me. I'm not going to do this for free.
No. Hello, they have not. They have given themselves.
Who's they?
This Gautam Gambhir has accepted it. Nobody's forced it down his throat.
Not accepted. He's won it.
Yeah, he's won it, but
On
he
his own
decided to
steed.
stand. But he decided to stand.
Correct.
So he's made a choice. It's not like somebody says, "Zabardast, sit in parliament now."
He's also not a very tall man, so he had to stand. But that's another story. I'm still saying soft target. Leave my cricketers alone. Go tackle. There's so many of these politicians out there.
We can attack all
I haven't
of
heard
them.
you say anything about the cheapness of UP, for example. You never say a word. My good friend is from Lucknow, but never one word of
I will
criticism.
talk about him also.
I just came back from Japan.
You just
and the kind of
lost
food I ate
your
there.
cricketer to politics. He's become one of them now.
This is the country, Baba. This is the country.
The country.
We want to save the country instead of me signing for election, let Kunal sign for elections.
Yeah, he should actually.
Yeah, he looks like a bloody minister, no?
Ugly.
No, I never said that. Huh? We have the best looking parliamentarians in the world. Hold for applause.
What's the UPCM side career?
Double career, dual career. Humanitarian.
Of course, yeah. All right, the next one comes from Sanket Kulkarni. Hi,
Boss, you're the one with family in Lucknow.
I know.
I need to one event a year or something. I just have to keep quiet.
Hi Cyrus, I have been listening to Cyrus Says for the past 3 years. Recently, I have moved to France to pursue my higher studies.
Because of the show?
And this show helps me stay in touch with India. My question is, does Cyrus miss Indian spices when he is abroad?
Yeah, I think Indian food, Kunal is our food expert, he'll let him take this question, but I'll quickly say, after 3 days, and I have a decent continental appetite,
Right.
I have enough of that, but after 3-4 days of ketchup and white sauce, I think we're just too sophisticated our palates, and you miss your chutneys and your curries and your, Indian, Chinese, these two cuisines for me are on another
Indian
level.
food is the greatest food on earth.
Oh, the patriot speaks. Jai Hind. Wait,
And
this is a BJP moment for Kunal
and
Vijayakar.
if you have
Wait, you have to play the right music in the background. No Jawan, no Jawan. You're going with cooking utensils to the border. Come on.
And if you are used to eating Indian food as a child, then it is very difficult to not eat Indian food when you travel for a few days.
After a few days, you start racist about it.
You
We
start
are
fighting
slightly
for a
more
palate.
sophisticated in terms of food, and a lot of the other cultures, without being mean to them, they cannot give you what the Indian palate needs, which is so many different sort of tastes and things mixed together. I think, like I said, only South Asian and Chinese maybe.
Yeah.
Other than that, I really struggle after a few days.
Yeah, true.
Indian food.
What about
Chinese
you?
Indian.
Abbas?
I've not been abroad enough
But
to
you
miss
think,
Indian
you
spices.
could manage on only like French fries and those kind of things?
No.
After some time,
Yeah.
lasagna,
French
pasania.
fries, a mistake.
No,
and
I
all,
know, but after 7-8 days, it's dry
Yeah.
food, Amit is the guy. Amit is the guy who's actually lived abroad. Let's ask
And
him.
I don't eat Indian. I am perfectly okay with not eating Indian food for
At
extended
all,
periods
for
of time.
months.
No, it's a one cancel. Utensil, wapas
I
le
mean,
lo.
yeah, I
Come
don't
back
miss
from
it.
the border. Come back.
I don't miss Indian food when I don't eat it. I think
He's a bloody commie, man.
He's more American than Indian, I think.
He's Canadian.
Canadian.
He hates Donald Trump. He's a Trudeau man.
Even like when I'm in, even in Bombay, right? I mean, like I think I may be eating Indian food like maybe a couple of times a week.
So you don't pine for it like us.
Not at
Indians raised in India once we go abroad, not the desis who
Yeah.
are born there, which you're almost like that. So for us, I think after some time you just miss
start
it.
pining.
And you start pining.
Yeah, it's almost like a tactile thing. I want to break a roti and
That's what.
eat it with
Maybe that
something.
also. Maybe that
masala,
also.
yeah. You want little masala.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
You understand what
by
tactile
the
is?
by the third
You're
time,
bullying my
Right.
friend.
for the third time, you say, okay, abhi bus ho gaya, Conti, let's have some Chinese food.
Right.
Okay. Then you start saying, let's have some Thai food. Thoda masala aa gaya. फिर have Malaysian food.
Yeah.
Or masala aa gaya. Then
Yeah.
finally you succumb and
Yeah.
have your Indian.
That's true.
And then when you see an Indian walking in the road with an
You
idli in
slap
his
them.
hand, you know.
You slap them.
Then you pounce on them.
He's broken. New York broken.
So I like sandwiches. That's like my favorite thing to eat.
Oh, I love sandwiches.
So then I don't
Okay,
need
boss,
Indian.
I could live offline. Offline. Fatso's offline.
outside of-
Buffaloes. And uncle is saying, you buffaloes. Come on, outside buffaloes.
Outside of the Bombay sandwich, everything else is not.
Garib desh, kahan se garib desh?
No, but
Look at these two
but
toppers
a good
sandwich.
chicken with mayo,
Right.
or good ham with
Yeah.
mustard, or roast beef with onion.
So those
Stay
are not
abroad and
Indian.
discuss this.
But those are not Indian tastes, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Those are not Indian tastes.
Yeah, but
This is your elitist club taste that you two and other few people have experienced.
club
But not
sandwiches.
necessarily what we miss when we are abroad.
I don't go to clubs, but yeah.
Oh, you can't have it both ways.
I don't go to clubs.
Complex motherfuckers.
How do I go to clubs?
You can't
I
be
never go to
capitalist
clubs.
and leftist. You decide now.
But
You
I
decide
don't
now.
go to clubs. How
You
does that have
decide
to do
now.
with capitalism?
Kunal, you're a
racism?
capitalist?
I'm a capitalist.
I'm a complete socialist.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a limit to humor. There's a line where you can't cross it. It's just
I
not
didn't
funny.
say I'm a communist.
All right. I think that's it. Any more?
One
We'll go
last one.
more.
Ameya Kulkarni has asked a very
Ameya?
My Kulkarni.
That's our boy. Oh, by the way, Amit used to write for our show
Yeah.
at a time when we promised to pay him. Then
it
when they
the
cut
same
our
one?
budgets, we called him and told him the good news and the bad news.
It's a very straightforward
Yeah.
question. Cyrus, do you even shut up while having sex?
I cannot answer
Yeah,
that
well,
question.
when you pay for sex, when you actually pay for it, I think you have the right to talk. It's the reverse of the right to remain silent. No, if you're paying for it, you should be allowed to talk. I mean, that's what she's going through then, I mean, that's why she's doing it, to suffer everything, not just the sexual part, but also the talking.
When is the last time you had sex?
With a prostitute.
With
Monday.
anybody.
Monday. You were outside holding the car,
That was 25 years ago.
but it was a Monday.
That's
All right,
the
that's
questions
it.
we have, yeah.
Okay, bye-bye. Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Broacha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me. Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps. Please, we beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
And that's what Cyrus says.
रिश्ते में तो हम तुम्हारे पॉडकास्ट लगते हैं. नाम है फुटबॉल शुटबॉल.
Presenting Football Should Ball, a show about three friends discussing our favorite game over a beer. Sometimes 3, maybe even 5. Hi, I'm Shiva, and with me are my two sidekicks, Gaurav Sapre and Karthik Iyer.
Sidekick? You mean like Batman's Robin or Van Persie Robin?
No, I mean like Alexis Sanchez, but with a little more skill than just playing the piano.
Ha! Just shows how the best players at Arsenal are mere bench warmers at United.
Oh, thank you, Iyer. But you're a Fulham supporter, so whenever you say anything to support me, I question my beliefs.
Just like how Griezmann would say, एक बार मैंने जो decision ले लिया, तो मैं अपने आप की भी नहीं सुनता.
Banter aside, we will talk match reports, transfer rumors, top controversies, fantasy football picks, and so much more. So grab a beer and tune in to Football Should Ball every Wednesday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you constantly seeking happiness? Wondering how to make the most of every day? How not to let your inhibitions stop you from achieving your goals? It's now time to get your A game on. It's time to unlock your true potential. Tune in to the Empowering series with me, Zarina Poonawalla, to feel empowered in all genres of life. From behavioral skills to management skills, from health to relationships, from mental well-being to emotional well-being, and of course your finances. I've got you covered. With these tips and tricks from me, Zarina, and true life stories from my amazing guests, you're bound to bring your purest to the table. Tune in to the Empowering series with Zarina Poonawalla every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts.